Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another edition of FTB Sports Cop Talk. And it's all about that title chase, yeah. And you know, only big teams are involved in those. So yeah, Man United and all that, keep quiet. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, simples. Good evening, Jim. How we doing, sir?
Yes, good evening, Artie. How you doing, man?
Not too bad, my brother. Good evening, Mr. Con. How you doing, sir?
Good evening, guys.
Good. So, gentlemen, today, first off, let's crack off with our run through a team, and let's give our out of 10 for each player. Let's start off with Alisson and work our way through. Alisson out of 10.
8.
8.
I'll give him.
All right, good. I had him at 8.5. Okay, Robbo.
7.
7. Yeah, I'd give him 7.
I had him at 6. Matic.
Boy.
Yep. Matic.
Boy, man, because
he's staying at 6.
Different half. I'll give him a 7.
Nah, stick of sticks.
6.5. VVD.
6.5.
I'd give him a 7 because I thought he made some critical interventions.
Okay, yep, fair enough. 6.5 for me. Trent.
Oh, man. 6.5.
Snap.
Okay, same. That's what I said. 6.5. Fabinho.
6.
Yeah, 5.5.
I gave him a 5. Thiago.
Yeah, I'll stick with 5.5, man.
I'm gonna give him a 5.5. Yeah.
Ooh, I gave Thiago a 7. We'll discuss
Hell
that.
no.
Hendo.
Hendo does what Hendo does. He's industrious.
I'll give him 5.5.
I'll give him a 6.5.
6.5. Yep, that's what I said. Salah.
5.
4.5.
Yeah. I was saying 5 and
4.5.
I was feeling generous.
No, 4.5, man.
All right,
4.5.
6.5. Mane.
I'll give him a 7.5.
I'll give him a 6.5.
All right, 6.5. And Jota.
I'll give him a 7.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll give him a 7. Yeah.
All right. So the ones we're going to quickly talk about then is the ones where we might have had a big bit of a difference, or they had an unusually low mark. First off, I'll start with Trent. The only reason why I actually gave him the 6.5 was because of the assist, to be honest. Other than that, I wasn't too impressed with him at all. Fabs, I think that's the worst game he's had in a Liverpool shirt, to be honest. Worst game I've seen him play. So for me, had to have a 5. De Bruyne, to let De Bruyne go like that was just criminal. Absolutely criminal. He couldn't pass the ball today either. Couldn't keep the ball. It was, criminal today, I'd say. What did you reckon of Fabs today then, Jim?
You know what? I don't even. You know what? I don't even want to single out a player. I know that's what we're doing right now because I thought overall, I didn't think we were on it overall, and I think that kind of permeated through to all the players because everybody wasn't really on it. I mean, let's be totally frank. I think even though I was generous with Mane, you know, that's still not the Mane I expect. So that's why I'm saying it's difficult to put to kind of apportion blame because I think that the whole team wasn't performing at the level, so everybody's standards were kind of down. So that's why Fab. But you're right. Fab. There were times I thought he was lucky to be on the pitch. To be honest,
definitely.
You know what I mean? I was sitting there thinking, "Ooh, please be a yellow, please be a yellow," because other referees would have been more like flourishing that with that red.
Yeah, I'm
You
telling you.
understand? So
Yeah,
I thought we were kind of a little bit lucky, even though he didn't do anything that bad. But it depends on the referee, innit?
yeah,
So
definitely.
that's my
What,
thing
what
with
did you
him.
make of Traps today?
I thought that in that first half, that it was like men of eight boys. I mean, there was no midfield shape. Henderson, all three, they just couldn't get hold of the ball. But the reason why I can't be too critical. Same thing with Trent. I know they didn't play well, but they're just carrying out what their managers told them to do. All this high line business, I thought that Liverpool is very risky. Sterling just managed to be offside, and me personally, I would have told the team, stop doing it. They took risks, but they're listening to the manager's instructions, really, aren't they?
Hmm.
That's the way he set them out to do things,
Yeah,
Um, but I mean, in that first half, the midfield was, woo, do you know what I mean? It was like we didn't have none there,
it was
just
the whole
chasing shadows.
it was the whole team in the first half.
Yeah,
To be honest, for me, the whole team.
yeah, but I mean, like, I can't really go too harsh on the strikers because they weren't getting no service either. So they weren't even getting no service in that first half. I mean, it was just, we're very lucky today, I would say.
I believe so as well. Salah, I only gave him that 6.5 because of the assist, to be honest. It's a great pass into Mane, I must say. Lovely pass. One of the few times that he did actually pass it, but yeah, it's a great pass. And that's why I gave him 6.5. He wasn't really on it today for me. Good evening, Mr. Paul Robinson. He says, evening, gentlemen. He says, how can you give Salah a 5.5 after that assist? Our team didn't switch gears. KDB looked like he wanted it. I didn't see any Liverpool player that looks like he wanted it.
Yeah, can I say a couple of things there,
Of course,
RT?
of course.
I think he's right about KDB because I was sitting there thinking, why are we owned by Fenway Sports? We should just be owned by KDB Limited because that whole team, we were owned by that brother, and he's not the fastest guy in the world, right? And I just sat there, I thought, how is this guy who ain't the fastest literally bossing our midfield of out of sight? I was, I thought obviously it shows the quality of KDB, but yeah, I was disappointed that our midfield couldn't contain him. Then the other thing I wanted to say is that I looked at this slightly differently as well, because obviously, I mean, from all the ratings we've all given, we didn't think it was a vintage Liverpool performance. There is obviously another way of looking at it, which is without being vintage, we went there and drew with them. You understand? We didn't even play well, and we drew with them. So what does that say about them? I think as much as it says about us, what does it say about them? Yeah, we didn't get totally blown away 4-0 or whatever. They scored, we scored. They scored, we scored. Okay, we weren't even great. Salah wasn't on the game, so I guess there is a positive in that way. If you want to look at it that way, that's what I wanted to say. Really,
we got blown away. I think, and I've said we didn't get blown away because as well, I don't think like they didn't take their chances. They weren't clinical enough, but they created a hell of a lot more than we did. I tell you that much. And it was worrying how easy it was for them to create as well. That was the worrying thing, and we just kept giving them back the ball.
Yeah,
you're gonna put yourself in trouble. That first half was painful. It was painful to watch.
I think it's the high line, isn't it? As you're saying, which is, I mean, it's one of those ones where, I mean, obviously we have the actual defenders with the legs to be able to play that. But against City, and City put on three forwards, obviously. They matched us. And I sat there and I thought, they got 3 forwards who are arguably quick. Jesus, Sterling, and I just sat there, I thought, highlight, I don't know. I mean, it is just good that we have defenders who can defend like that, but it's a risky business, man.
Yeah.
It's a risky business against that type of opposition at their ground. And when I saw Mahrez and them coming in, I was sitting there thinking, God, we don't get caught. Yeah. And Sterling, if it wasn't for that offside, obviously he beat that trap. He beat it. He scored. Yeah. Just thank God it was offside.
And then Mahrez messed up at the end as well.
I know he beat it as well, but he messed up.
As well.
So I was sitting there thinking, yeah, it's only because, as you said, because their shooting wasn't great. Otherwise, that high line we're playing, I don't know. But you know what? I'm not the coach, and it's worked for us. But I don't know if it's something we should play in every single game, especially against the likes of City.
Yeah. Yeah. Paul is saying, he's calling Jim Amino. He says, don't say we had a positive to the draw. We should have won that game. End of. That was our chance to snatch the league.
Nah, man. I don't think that we did enough to win that game or deserve to win that game. They should have won that game, really. They just didn't get there. As I said, with the way KDB played in that midfield, they should have won that game. We didn't do enough to actually win that game, in my reckoning. I mean, it seemed as if we were playing catch-up every time. They scored, we scored, they scored. Come on, we're supposed to take the lead here. All we're doing is we're just scoring because they managed to get one. So I don't know. I don't think that like you actually you don't deserve to actually win anything, really, as far as I'm concerned. Especially when you play against that opposition and you don't play that well. But like I keep saying, though, we weren't our greatest when we drew with them. There is a positive. Okay,
Con, do you think that was a positive result then?
Yeah, you have to take that. I mean, twice we're down and we come back. They're at their ground. You've got to take that as a positive, really. I mean, if it was another team, it could have been like Southampton, you know. So we got something out of it, you know. We got a point out of it. I still think there's more twists and turns to go to the end of the season. I still think the Champions League will play into it as well, especially to Man City. If Man City do get to that semi-final and their first leg, if you ask Pep what would he rather win, the Premiership or the Champions League, he would take the Champions League. So he might start.
He hasn't won it with him.
Yeah, so he might start. I mean, like if whoever he's got it, well, like say that semi-final first leg, if he does get there, if that score is sort of sticky for him, he might not put a best team out, you know, and maybe
do they have
we
a
might
bad
surprise
team,
him.
I don't know if they put out there. You understand? Good evening, Mr. Amonde. He's from our Man United agenda. Good evening, sir. Lovely to have you on board. He says, what a fantastic game. So much respect for both teams. This is elite stuff. He says, we're both winners. He says, this is a credit to the evolution of the game. It was amazing to me to see how Liverpool's distance from attackers to defence was so narrow, therefore open to balls in behind. They have to be so well drilled. Yeah.
The only thing I think Liverpool, just attacking wise, I just think we're so predictable. I mean, there ain't really a plan B, is there?
I don't know. I don't know if you could say that now. Depending on who's starting up there or who you bring on. That's your plan B.
I think Bobby should have started today.
Everyone can say that now in hindsight. But
no. I'll say. I'll tell you why Bobby.
I want to hear that.
A lot of the talk was, a lot of people online were surprised that Jota was starting. But as he does, he bangs goals because they're saying that Diaz has been in form. You know, he had a hot game the other day.
Jota.
So they're saying let Diaz play. That was a lot of the talk earlier on.
Hang on, sorry. Let's hear what Cod's got to say about Firmino first.
Yeah,
I want to hear that.
Okay, the reason why I think Bobby should have started because I felt like being that what he does, dropping into the middle, and the way Man City played, I think that he was perfect for that role today, where we needed the help, where he could be like the person where he wouldn't have a designated place where he could drop into midfield, he could drop as be the number 10, or he could go as number 9. And I thought he was perfect for that role today. And I think that he should have started. I definitely think he should have started.
Started instead of who though?
Jota, I think Jota should have started and Mane, and I would have put Bobby. I would have put Salah on the bench.
Ooh.
Salah's form hasn't been really that great. He's so predictable. When he's got the ball, he's going to cut inside. The defenders know what he's going to do. Even I know what he's going to do. There's nothing else. I'm not saying he's rubbish overnight or anything, but I'm just saying at this time and moment, when's the last? All right, then we just gave our marks out of 10. Okay, when's the last time? Can you tell me when he, in your opinion, when he deserved a 9 or 8? I know it's football. I know they can't play brilliant all the time and score a goal every time. But when do you think? When's the last time you thinking? Yeah, I want to give him 8 out of 10. Not for just scoring. I mean, just playing.
Yeah. You know what though? You know what? And I think you have a point there. And I was thinking about it when the game was on. I thought couple of things. I thought, first of all, why is this guy? Why are we subbing every man except Salah? Why are we subbing Mane? Because I'm sorry, if anyone deserved to get subbed in that game in the front three, it was Salah.
Yeah.
That's the first
Thank
thing I
you.
was thinking, and I was thinking, okay, is this and I mean, I don't know if people get distracted by contract talks and all the rest of that stuff, and if that's even an excuse, but it does seem to be around the time that the actual contract talks been testified that his performance has dropped. Also, I think the actual double spanking Egypt took from Senegal in the World Cup and in the AFCON, he's just like it literally seemed to he's totally been he's been gutted from that. And I think since around that time, wherever it was, January or wherever it was, after that time, he hasn't really captured the form. So I don't know if those things are playing on his mind. I don't know. But by the standards which he sets, which is what Con's saying, he hasn't been good since the turn of the year. Let's be honest.
No, he hasn't.
Really?
He hasn't.
True.
And he's not scoring from open play as much as well. I think he's only got one goal from open play in the last how long as well. The others have just been penalties, so forth. He's not been to be fair. And like I said, other than the assist today, he hasn't really done nothing. But what happens is when you start someone like Salah, the defending team, they are wary of what he can do and the threat that he does cause. So that is part of it as well. It's also a bit of the mental as well, and that will have him, rather than this guy pushing up all the time, he'll be sitting back a bit more because this is Mo Salah, man. So you have to be a bit careful. And he can cause problems. Right, Paul. I don't know what's going on with Paul and Jim today. So he's saying, Jim, are you saying we don't have a better team than them? I don't think we turned up today. Salah didn't show up. Mane was all right. Diaz was Stevie Wonder. We've played second fiddle to Man City for too long.
Sorry, I didn't get that. What do you say exactly? What did Paul say?
He's saying, are you saying that Liverpool doesn't have a better team than Man City?
Am I saying we don't have a better team than Man City?
Yeah.
No, that's not actually what I'm saying. What I'm saying is this particular game, we did not look as good as Man City. I know Man City were at home, right? But we played Man City. We've got man for man. We have all of our players is just as good as theirs, if not better. I do, however, I'm sorry, no one is dissuading me that like KDB bossed our team today. I'm sorry. I watched that game. That man had us on toast. And like I said, he's not the fastest. He's not got some silky skills. So somebody should have clamped him from time. But he bossed all over the midfield. He passed, he sprayed, he scored. I mean, hell, we had to resort to tripping him up to stop him.
Yeah.
I mean, we had to resort to like playground tactics to stop him. So I'm sorry, in this particular game, no, we weren't as good. I don't think we were, and we didn't look as good. I keep coming back to my same thing, which is, as I said, we still got a draw. So it shows that there's actually more in the engine for us. But we weren't as good today.
Improvement in the second half from the first half performance, but that still wasn't vintage Liverpool performance for me, even though there was improvement in the second half. Could imagine Klopp must have read the riot act at half time, and we did come out a lot better, but it still wasn't what I would expect of a Liverpool team.
I think a lot of some of the thing we do was it's like bizarre. There was a time with Trent, okay. I could understand it was 5 minutes towards the end. He tried to chip the goalkeeper, but I was thinking normally he's level-headed. He would have played it at the thing, but he tried to chip the goalkeeper. It was just like some of the decision today was a bit bizarre, really.
Yeah.
To me, actually, they were a bit bizarre. I was like, I don't know. Maybe the nerves got to some of the players. I don't know.
We did
In that
in
first
half.
half.
I don't know. A lot of people say we look very panicky. To be fair, we just couldn't
Yeah,
get
look, hot potato. We didn't want to. No one
Yeah.
could try because I thought Thiago would have bossed it or controlled that midfield and everything. But it just seemed like it was hot potato. No one didn't really want the ball.
But he was the one person I would say who was actually trying to put his foot on the ball and actually looking up to try and find that pass. A lot of the times there wasn't nothing on, and that's why he just had to either go square or he was passing it back to Van Dijk or Matip. But he was the one person I could see actually foot on the ball and his head up, looking around, looking for a forward pass. But it just wasn't happening in front of him today. Paul Robinson is saying that hindsight is a wonderful thing. To say Salah should be dropped to the bench is more crazy than Raul Mo. Yeah. I know he hasn't been in the best of form. I don't know if I would have dropped him.
Yeah, but Mr. Robin, I just think before he went to Africans Nation, he weren't really, and it's just like, all right, he scored all those goals and everything, but I think sometimes, I don't know, I didn't think he should have started today. That's my opinion.
No, to be fair, he could have started, but he should have came off. When you saw it's not working, that's when you say, you know what, all right, fair enough, I gave you the start. You're not doing it. You got to come off. That's what I think needs.
And you know, and you know, a lot of time when Liverpool struggling or not, it always seems, no matter whatever he does, Jota always seems to be the one. And man just looked at, and I felt a bit sorry for him today. I was like, he ain't really done nothing wrong. The average person who Liverpool would have said should have been Salah, and you got Jota. I mean, talk about getting crushed. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but now Jota was another one though. He gave away the ball loads. To me, when you're looking at Jota's game, if he's not scoring, what's he really contributing?
I don't mind as long as he scores, son.
Yeah, that's
Come
what
on
I'm
now.
saying. He's not.
He's like a Gary Lineker.
And he does score. That's the key. Because as you said, if you get a as you said, a striker who does nothing else but score, that's fine by me as long as you score. And Jota scores. Let's be honest. You know, I mean, I was skeptical when we bought him from Wolves, was it?
Yeah.
I thought, you know, but my man, like, he looks like he's been playing in that team forever. And you know, he held the fort when Mane and Salah were gone for the AFCON. Yeah. He held the fort pretty well, I thought. So I think he's at his position, and I agree with you. I think subbing him, I kind of thought, why are you subbing this guy? If anybody should get off this field, it should be Salah. But you know, I'm not the manager, so what can I say? Definitely. He knows what he's doing.
Also, Jota today had a great opportunity, and he didn't shoot or didn't square it to Salah. He did neither, and then let the defender get back and just take it. I'm just like, come on, man. These are not looking sharp, man. Not looking sharp. We're looking jaded, I feel, as well. I think
maybe he didn't have any confidence in Salah.
Sorry?
Maybe he didn't have much confidence in Salah.
Well, take the shot on. Take the shot on then. He had two options.
True.
It's either shoot or pass, and he did neither.
True.
That's the thing for me as well. He did neither, and that's things like that, man. These are the decisions that change games and make games, man.
Artie, can we? Sorry, go on.
No, I'm just gonna throw it. If we did win today, did you think we would have still won the league?
It's still up in the air for me. But it's still been up in the air.
Jim, if you thought if we won today, do you think we would have won the league?
$1 million question. Yeah. You know what? I'm gonna go for a yes. I'm gonna go for a yes because I think, like all these things, it's psychological, right? And you know, we've been battering everybody else out of sight. This was a team that we psychologically had to get over, even if it was just a 1-0 win or something. So the fact that we didn't get over them, if we had got over them 1-0 or whatever, then psychologically I'd think, yeah, we're like, you know what, everybody else, you're done. So, I'm gonna go for like a yes, to be honest with you, bro. I think that if we had one, we would have.
One more question. Next week, Artie, what do you think? Do you think what do you think? Right, with
No,
Klopp,
we're not
should he
gonna
go
talk
with
about
this?
that. No, we're not going to talk about that now.
Okay, cool. All right, go on.
Let me go. Yeah, if we the one today, it does give you that psychological advantage going into other games. It gives you that momentum going into other games, and you've just beaten obviously one of the best teams ever. So you're like, you know what? Nobody else should really be able to stop us. But I'm looking at our running, and that was going to be my next question as well. Like, what does this result mean for us? But looking at our running and their running, and I'm looking at Man United, Everton, Tottenham. There's the three major games that I'm looking at. I don't care what anybody says about how crap Man United are right now. They're going to raise their game when it comes to playing Liverpool.
True.
No ifs or
Just
buts.
like Everton, just like what Everton done to them. Because
so they're two. City ain't got no games like that. City ain't gonna have no battles like that right now.
The only thing with City, some of them teams might be fighting for relegation. So
they'll spank them. Which relegation fodder is really going to give them any trouble?
Well, you don't know some of these relegation teams. Like, I mean, look at Crystal. Who would have thought Crystal Palace would have beaten Arsenal the other day?
Yeah.
Arsenal lost to Brighton yesterday at home. So
Arsenal, man, you can't put Arsenal and City in the same bracket.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I mean,
but
sorry, go on, man. Go on.
But like I said, that if Man City is still in the Champions League, that could play into thing. I know you said to me, oh, you was right. You said their second string team might not be, but I think players, even if he started their heads thinking, don't want to get injured, we got the next semi-final to play. Do you get what I mean? So that might play into it.
Yeah, I was gonna say just that, Con, because I was sitting there thinking I kind of agreed with Artie in the league, in that I sat there and I thought, even if you're fighting for relegation or whatever else, you're playing against Man City. Good luck with that one. Yeah, you can come with your best scrappy game all over, and when Sterling runs at you a million miles and puts that ball in the back of the net, good luck, you're done.
Exactly.
So I'm not putting my eggs in the relegation scrap battle. I'm joining you, but I am joining you in the Champions League, because I sat there and I thought, was it 1-0? I think that they
1-0.
Yeah, and I thought, this is Diego Simeone's team, right? And you got to go back to their ground. And we know how them people stay over there. We know how we experienced his team last time and how he rolls. So either A, they're going to try and break your legs, right?
Mhm.
So are you all going to play in such a way as to think, I don't want to get injured, or are you going to play in such a way as to say, we've got to win the Champions League because we haven't won it? So one way or the other, I think it's going to give them a little bit of indecisiveness. Either Diego's team and the Dark Hearts, and what's he going to do to us, like out there? And the third thing is, even if they do lose to Diego's team out there, psychologically, it's not good. So I'm happy that they're going back there with a 1-0 lead, because 1-0 going back to Atletico, and I think, as I said, there are three different reasons why it could be good for us. Yeah. Like I said, either psychologically, if they lose, or they're trying not to get injured, or they're basically trying so hard because they know they have to win the Champions League. So that's where I'm putting my eggs in that basket over there.
Okay, right. Paul Robertson has asked a question, gentlemen. He says, how would we have played that game differently today?
I'm going to let Con answer that one.
A game like that, they know how.
He would have dropped Salah. That's what Con would have done.
No. If you told me how to play that game, but Man City, throughout the week, they would have sat down in the classroom and said, Salah does this, they play this formation, that's that. And just carried on to it. So I would have played the normal formation, or I would have just changed the formation completely for Man City and catch them off guard. I would have played 3-5-2.
Ooh.
I would have caught Man City out, because those players in their head, they've been drummed in all week. Liverpool play 4-3-3. He does this, he does that, he does that. And I would have used Trent. I would have used Trent as the right wing back, and just put Matip, what's his name, Kanate, and Van Dijk as my three centre backs.
Canate.
I would have done. I would have done that. I would have just gone for it that way.
I was with you until you said Canate.
Well, I needed three centre backs. Honest truth, I never really liked. I came in Artie's show about 2 months ago, and I said I don't really rate him. My brother tried to say to me he was the next Marcel Desailly at the time. That's what my brother said. I nearly fell down, but I have to be honest, I am warming to him. You know, I am warming to him. So.
You know what?
As a three centre backs, he would have to be there. He would have to be there because he would have blocked, man. Kevin De Bruyne, he would have booted him up in the air. Do you know what I mean? We needed something like that.
He would have been sent off. You know what? I don't mind. Yeah, but I just think not that game. I'm sorry. I think he's got a mistake in him, and I think the likes of Sterling would have been rubbing his hands to be playing up against him, and that would worry me. He's got a mistake in him. As we saw in the other game.
I think.
Sorry, go on.
No, go on. I think Sterling would have been shook to him though, because he don't stop. Does he? Would have took him out.
That's what I'm saying. I think either that or he got sent off, one or the other. As I said,
But
I like your like 3-5-2 though. I like that because that's free. Because like I said, I think we were overrun by one man in each field, and that worried me. And I would have said, you know what? Yeah, if we can, I put it this way: if we'd stopped KDB playing, if we strangled KDB, we'd have probably. I think we kind of cut out. I don't know, 60% of their oxygen.
Of course you do.
Because everything went through him. He had the ball. He sprayed it. He came forward. And I just thought, you know what? If we'd flooded the actual midfield with 5, we'd have told one person, I don't know who. Your job is to make sure. See that run over there? Don't let him touch the ball. Yeah. That's all you got to do. Because if we start him with oxygen, then we got a better chance going forward.
Yeah. All right. I the only thing I would have done is about the high line. Really, I just want to play so much of a high line. I think that's what kills us basically. And with a team like City as well, with what they've got, the pace they've got up front, very dangerous game to play. On Monday, Juma is saying, I'm going to get back to that other comment on Monday about United. He's saying that he said United owe us big time, but you can't see United giving us any payback for years, as we're years level clear of them basically. Good evening, Mr. Solo. How you doing, sir? Good evening, Paul Soko as well. Amondi's saying good comments, Jim, about City versus Atletico Madrid. He's a bit shocked at Con's 3-5-2. Said that would have backfired. Surely the players would have failed to adapt. He said that only invites pressure, in his honest opinion. And he reckons that 3 centre-backs will be marking fresh air and that City would exploit that quite easily. Very true, because they're not playing as a natural out-and-out striker. So there's not like that striker just sitting on the centre half, are they? They're all over the place. So you've got to have 3 centre-backs standing there doing nothing. So yeah, for me it would have been just change that not getting up so high, and I think that would have helped us. And then if you drop back a bit, and then you can also have Alisson as a sweeper. And if it's going over your head, Alisson just comes out and clears that up. But you've given him too much ground to run into, man. Seriously, too much. But yeah. So that result, what does it mean for our title chances now? What does it mean?
I don't.
Jim, you first, sir.
Thanks a million for that one.
Anytime, sir. Anytime.
You know what? Yeah. I think it's one of those heart and head moments, right? My heart tells me, I don't mean nothing because there's still more games to play, and anybody can beat anybody in this thing. My head tells me, but what you just said there, Artie, which is look at our running, who we're playing. Spurs are currently playing better than I thought Spurs could play, and Son worries the hell out of me. As we
signing Vacevic as well.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
Yeah, Spurs are a worry, and as you said about Everton and Man U, regardless, they are still Everton and Man U. still Man U, regardless of their results. They are still Man U. They've still got enough talent there to come and beat us. So my head starts to worry a bit more, and my head worries more also because, as I said, City, the actual City I watched were on form. They didn't look like a team. They looked like they were like, nah, this title's ours. If you're coming for this title, yeah, you have to fight us for this. They weren't resigned. They weren't, and I just thought, okay. So I think based on that, my head tells me we are less likely to win the title than my heart would like. That's my answer.
I like that one. All right, Con. What does it mean for us, Con?
I look, being like Liverpool's got to play Man City at Anfield. Liverpool's not going to lose that game. We got to play Tottenham at Anfield. We're not going to lose that game. Okay, I don't think we're going to lose those games. I just think Liverpool probably mess up against Southampton or Aston Villa. That's where we'll mess up. You know, that's where I think it will happen. We're not going to lose at home. We're too good at home. Everton at home, that's nothing. Liverpool don't lose at home. Van Dijk has never lost a Premiership game at home. So I just don't think it's. I just think it's going to be a away team where we mess up.
Okay.
Where we drop points again. I think we'll still be in there, but at home, I'm not bothered about those teams. Van Dijk's never. But just imagine Van Dijk. With like how long he's been there? How long has he been there? 2 years now, hasn't he?
I think it's
2 years.
3 years.
3 years. Okay, all right. He was with him. Just imagine he's never lost a home game at home. Think about that. He's never lost a home game at home. So I think with the Anfield crowd spurring them on, we'll be all right at home. It's just going to be the Southampton or Aston Villa. Do you know what I mean? And it's just the worst scenario would be Aston Villa, Steven Gerrard's team. That would hurt. That would hurt. That would hurt. Seriously, that would hurt.
He's supposed to give us a
That
pass.
would really.
Supposed to give us a pass.
He's going to have to look professional. And you remember, Man City's got to play Villa last game. Pardon?
I said, what? And Coutinho scores the winner.
Don't, man. Oh. It was bad today when Sterling's goal, you just went, out of all the players, you just didn't want him to get the winner.
Yeah. I'm telling you, that's why I was so glad that was disallowed. Paul Soccer is saying we still have a chance, it's not over. Paul Robinson is saying for our title chances, we're buggered. We've got more chance of winning the league than Everton. Game over. Very true. And Amonde saying that's an amazing stat that VVD's never lost at home. It's a big stat. It's true.
Home league game.
Yeah, league game.
Yeah.
In the Prem.
Yeah.
But yeah. Oh, I tell you, that game today, I was so excited before the game. I had butterflies and everything before the game, and then the performance, man, I was like, are these guys not up for it? Do they not realize what's at stake here today?
You know what, Artie? Sorry, man. I think we're, out of all the other players there, I think we're kind of doing Mane a disservice because I think he was up for it. I think out of all them players there, Mane did a Mane. Mane comes on, he's pretty. He doesn't show much in the way of emotions that Gary. In fact, he always looks vexed whenever he looks vexed when he gets subbed. Even though he goes and gives the actual customary hug, he still looks vexed. He looks vexed when he walks off the field. He just about smiles when he scores, right? So I thought to myself, well, you know what? All the players there, I think Mane played the best for me. He played good. He was in there. He wanted the ball. You know, every time he got these little tricks and all that. So I thought, let's not go. You know, we haven't really praised him enough. And I sort of thought, you know, all we've done is gun down everybody today. So I want to praise Mane. To be honest, I want to say, you know what? Yeah, you did all right, man.
He did a bit of defensive work as well from that free kick as well.
Yep.
I was very impressed with that.
Yeah.
Very
so
impressed with that.
I want to, give him some praise because, as I said, I thought he played well. I was like, why is he getting subbed? Sub Salah.
Yeah.
Sorry, Mane's looking creative. You know, he's banging. So is Jota. Sub Salah. So I just sat there and thought, Salah got something in his contract that says he can't be subbed.
Do you think it's a bit of favouritism or something like that? Why he's not taking off Salah? Because if everybody else can see that he's not having a great game, come on, man. Klopp must concede that.
Obviously I don't know Klopp, but from what I see, Klopp doesn't strike me as I have a favoritism kind of guy. He strikes as pretty ruthless, but you're right. I kept thinking, why don't you sub Salah? As you said, everybody can see what this man's not playing the greatest. You're subbing Jota, you're subbing Mane. What? And you're leaving on the field the one man who doesn't deserve to be on the field. So sorry.
The only thing I could think. No, sorry, Jim. Go on. Sorry. Carry on.
No, it's all right, man. Go ahead.
No, sorry. I apologize. The only thing I could think is maybe Klopp wants to get. Klopp thinks if I drop him from the side, or I'll ruin his confidence. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe that I don't know. That maybe comes into it. I just don't know.
Monday is saying, as a neutral, he thought that all of our players were on it.
All of our players were rubbish.
No, he thought all of our players were on it.
Were they? Okay.
I definitely didn't think so.
Yeah, but isn't this the same on Monday who thinks that Harry Maguire is as good as Maldini? Joke me on, mate. He didn't. I took it back.
That was a little while ago. I think his eyes have been open since. Trust me.
I think he's trolling us,
Yeah, this is exactly what I was saying on Monday. He said, I think Salah helps to force the defensive line back. His pacing behind is too much for team. He was right to keep him on, in his honest opinion. Well, I did say that about Salah. He makes them think defensively. He does make them think about that. But when you're not performing, though, and you're not doing
it's too predictable.
Yes. Yeah,
he's too predictable with the ball, though. He wants to cut inside all the time.
And another thing is,
he's too predictable.
If we all can see it, surely Mane and Jota can see it as well. And then you're taking me off. So what is that doing for their mental state?
Okay. Good point. But
maybe Klopp's a Jinnah. Maybe Klopp's a Jinnah. Make him sign a contract. Then after just bench him. Do you know what I mean?
What is wrong with Paul Robinson? He's asking, are we for real right now? Sub Salah. This is the one game he could perform. Look at the goal he scored last time he played City. You lot would probably prefer Minamino. When is the last time he's been like that? Let's listen. Come on, man. Listen. Take off the road.
Paul Robinson.
And you need to be honest with yourself. Look at Salah and how he's been playing, and you tell me that he deserves to be playing 90 minutes all the time. There's no way you can tell me that. And the facts speak for themselves. The stats will speak for themselves. They showed it before the game. I think it's 4 goals in the last 10 games or something like that. And 2 of them are penalties.
No one is unsubbable. I'm sorry.
Exactly. No.
Yeah, I'm not talking about the goal thing because you score a goal doesn't mean you had a bad. I'm just like I would like to ask Paul Robinson. When is the last time Salah, in his opinion, Salah deserved to get a 9 out of 10 or 8 out of 10? I'd like Paul Robinson to tell me what game Salah should have got that sort of mark.
It was probably the last City game. To be fair,
probably last season.
But yes, gentlemen. So we're still in with a shout. Didn't lose at the Etihad. Not many teams can say that. Remember that. And we move on. Paul Robinson saying that he got an assist, and he's answering your question, Con. He reckons that he should have got a 9 tonight. He's saying that answers a lot for me.
Okay.
That answers.
So, Mr. Paul Robinson, fair enough. That's his opinion. Okay. Yeah. My opinion differ, but we'll just leave it like that.
But yes. So we move on, gents. We have Benfica upcoming, City and Man United. Our next 3 games.
Fine.
All big games at this time of the season, lads. All big games. Bring them on.
Every game's a big game. At this point of the season, we're chasing multiple trophies. There is no let up. I think even even if it's the Southampton, it's a big game. Full
Big
stop.
game. Yep.
We have to win and win convincingly.
Mm-hmm.
All these games. So, I think every single game from here to the end of the season, and this is where Klopp's got to shuffle his pack
Yeah.
and make sure that the key people are not injured for the right games. And
Yep.
in Klopp we trust, quite frankly.
That's
You
what
know
we
what I
say.
mean?
That's what we say. We keep it moving. All right, Mr. Jim, thank you very much, sir, for being on board.
Thank you. My pleasure.
Thank you very much. Con, thank you very much for being on board, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
And we will be back. Do remember, peoples, like, share, and subscribe. It's all about Cock Talk, yeah? We will be back. Watch this space.
Can I make a suggestion? Next time we come on, can we bring Mr. Paul Robinson on?